Hello and welcome to this week's weekly psychic forecast for week commencing Monday the 17th of October 2022. Now we're in October, we're coming up to Halloween, 31st of October, Samhain, so the veil is extremely thin at the moment. So the cards have a lot to say and there are rather a lot of cards, way more than I would have intentionally picked, but a whole load came tumbling out. So we're going to start with the overview of the week. I've got 6 cards here for the overview this week. It is what it is. So we're going to dive on in just a second, then we will go day by day over the days of the week, Monday to Sunday, finishing up with a spiritual guidance message at the end. So do stay tuned for that. There will of course be timestamps in the description below as always. So let's dive on in. Let's take a look at these cards. Okay. So this week we're going to start out with this pack and these 3 just to start with. Let's see what they've got for us here. So it's an interesting one because there is a warning coming through here. Got a couple of dragons actually, which is very interesting because I've just come back from Wales and there were dragons there for sure. Very interesting place. I've also got a lizard, so there's a lot of reptilian guidance coming through here, which is very interesting. On 3811 too, so there's wisdom, 42:6 and 3. It's interesting because it feels very much to me that we're being asked to continue to grow our dreams. This is a week where we have to work on our dreams. We have to continue with what it is we set out to do, what it was that we wanted to do. We must continue and we must be vigilant to hold on to those dreams and protect them from outside influences who might be trying to pull us off course, who might be trying to convince us that it's not the right thing to do, or distract us, pull us in a different direction. There's definitely a need for boundaries this week, but it's important because they're boundaries not just on like your personal life, but when it comes to actually creating your whole life. So this is keeping your dreams safe, keeping it alive. And there is a lot of care coming through here as well, I feel, from the higher realms. There's a lot of love and support coming through. Very protective energy with all of these dragons as well. But very vibrant and powerful because dragons bring fire. And fire is, of course, an element that's very creational. It allows us to create. And we have that number 3 there, which is all about creating from nothing. It's all about the blueprint, the divine blueprint. And then with the lizard spirit as well, reminding us of the dream time, that we literally dream the world into existence. You know, because we are all an aspect of God. We are all these divine beings in human form. So it is very much about manifesting this week, but continuing to manifest our dreams, continuing to manifest the life that we want for ourselves and for the world, but continuing to do so in a gentle way, in a loving way, but with firm boundaries to those who would try to pull us off course. So keep going, keep growing this week is the message again. And then the next cards we have here, very interesting. So there will definitely be choices to make, difficult choices with the 2 of winter coming in. And it might feel like we don't know which direction to go in, but the chariot is going to push us forwards anyway, so we're just going to have to choose. Yes, I mean, the Prince of Spring, you have to act quickly. This is very, very fast energy, which means it's very potent. So it's just going to be a case of you're going to have to pick something and go with it if you're presented with a choice. Just choose. Come from intuition, come from what takes you closer to what it is that you actually want, you know, to your dream that you've been growing and taking care of all of this time. And think about, you know, what takes you closer to your divine purpose and what takes you further away from it. So it will be a week where it's going to feel, I think, that things are a little bit on fast forwards. Things are growing quickly, and you will have to make choices and decisions about what you actually do with that very potent energy. So it's going to be a case of piss or get off the pot, I'm afraid, for some of us. You know, if you've started a project and it's going to start moving this week, it may be that you suddenly decide, actually, I don't want to do this, and throw in the towel, which is absolutely fine if you realise you've picked the wrong thing. But if it is what you want to do, then you need to pick it up and run with it and be ready to run. Get your training shoes on, ready to run. Get your track shoes on, you know. Very fast energy, lots of passion, lots of fire this week, which is great because it means lots of potential and potentially lots of success, or the beginnings of success. And I think we will really start to see that in our ventures, you know, whether it's in our personal life, whether it's in our professional life, you know, whether it's on a grander scale in our spiritual life too. So I feel as well our guides are very much going to be nudging us this week too. I mean, they are protecting us, they're bringing a lot of love and support, but they're telling us to get on with it. So humanity, you heard it here first, get the fuck on with it. Okay, so let's look at Monday's cards. Let's just pop these away. Okay. So Monday we have some extra cards because it's just one of those weeks. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of energy. So, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. There we go. Yeah, you can see all of those. Right, so here we've got number 43, stay strong. We've got number 44, Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. This is a very potent message here. And we got the Four of Summer and the Prince of Summer. So this is very interesting. Because there's a lot of fours here for starters. This is very much real world stuff. This is building on your foundation. This is providing you with a firm foundation so that you can grow, so that you can build your life right now. But it's very, very solid foundations, also solid spiritual foundation here as well with that 44. 43, 44, very interesting there because that brings a mystical element on the 43-7 as well. So it's... the blueprint is very much guiding us now. It's our divine blueprint is guiding us on Monday, showing us the way, showing us what it is that we need to do. The Black Panther, of course, a very mysterious animal, very, very powerful spirit guide, one of my spirit animal guides as well. So really, really lovely to see one of those. I actually saw some pictures of jaguars yesterday that somebody showed me, which is a really interesting little coincidence there because the panther is the black jaguar, of course. It's definitely jaguar energy in the system. If that's one of the animals that you work with, call out to them, call on them. But look out for that incredible energy because they are very skilled, very psychic animals, very trusting of the higher realms. And I think there is a lot of support here in the real world for... And this is what I was saying with the overview. It's the support for our dreams, for the things that aren't yet manifest. But we will start to see the support in the real world. If you're doing advertising for a business, it'll start to work. You're going to get the phone calls. You're going to get the emails. You're going to get the clients, the bookings. If it's in your love life, people will start to show up because there's this very gentle romantic energy here as well, which is interesting. It's very concrete. Things start to show up. People start to show up. It's very interesting. You may have been waiting for some time. You may have been waiting for somebody to arrive in your life, or you may have been waiting for somebody to be at the right stage in their life where they could be with you. We've had those situations, all of us. And it's a very beautiful, gentle energy here, but it's very, very grounded. So if we take the very grounded energy and the very loving, beautiful energy as well, this is a day for artists. This is a day for art. This is a day for creating from the heart, creating from the higher heart, the higher realms. So a great day for painting, drawing, poetry, anything artistic, anything that brings more beauty and more love into the world, anything that brings more care, I think, into the world as well. Very, very beautiful day, Monday. Be lovely for meditation as well. I think you could really go deep with this powerful panther spirit there. And I think there could be some really good guidance as to actually what to do in the real world right now. When you ask your guides, when you pull cards for yourself, I think there could be some really potent messages actually coming through with real world advice rather than, sometimes messages can be a bit more sort of spiritual and woolly and it can take us a while to really work out what they mean. It can be a bit obtuse sometimes, spirit. But I think today they'll be really quite practical. So that's really nice for Monday. I'm just going to grab a card from the Angel Wings Oracle as well, which I have. I put all of the cards of the Angel Wings Oracle just out. Oh, demons. There we go. Let's just pull that one out because it wanted to come out to play. I put all of them onto just a little pack here so I can work with them. This is a deck that I'm supposed to be getting published at some point, and I will, I promise. I'll get it finished. In the meantime, you can actually use this deck on my website. If you go to angelwingsholistics.com, and you'll see the Angel Wings Oracle in the menu at the top, so you can actually go and use the cards and they have their interpretations there, and that's a free thing that you can use as often as you like, as whenever you need it. So let's just see what the Angel Wings Oracle has to add to this one here. So okay. Oh, those are harsh, aren't they? Harsh energies. Okay, so 13 and 40, yeah, that could feel a bit like a slap in the face. So it's interesting that we've got the very loving, supportive energy here, very grounded. So 13 is, of course, about change and transformation. It's about endings and new beginnings. And 40 is about sort of coming of age. It's a number of viability. It's a number of it being the moment. And life can feel very cruel sometimes, I think, when it's time for something to change, when it's time for something to move. But it's not necessarily the way to see it. Yes, if you have grieving to do, if there are things that you need to leave behind in your life right now because it's the moment to do something else, and 44 can be a bit of a slap in the face sometimes, you know, this energy. I think I described it previously as a slap in the face with a wet kipper. It's, you know, real life is here. It's very, very concrete energy today, but it's loving and kind as well. There's so much kindness from the higher realms. I want to say that even if things look difficult today, it's actually all happening for the right reasons. It's all happening to help you take that next step, to help you evolve, to help you transform. 13, again, it reduces to 4. It's that number 4 energy, and we've got 44. Again, it's all fours to all the fours on Monday. Very, very real world stuff happening. So no matter what's happening, I want you to hang on in there and just remember that everything has a purpose. There's a lot of love and support from the higher realms here, and we can actually achieve a lot, even if it is for some people through a certain amount of pain and suffering. And for many of us, that's kind of unavoidable at the moment, but that is how we learn. You know, if everything was easy, we wouldn't learn our lessons, would we? So sometimes that's the way it has to be. So let's move on to Tuesday now. Tuesday's cards. We have 17, Heed Your Dreams. 41, Nightingale Spirit, Love is All Around. And number 6, The Lovers. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that we've got 2 cards referencing love here. That is quite curious. Now, the Lovers isn't exactly what it seems. I mean, it can be about romantic relationships because 6 is the number of the heart, but it's also the number of the choice, where we do have to choose. Heart always has to choose. It's never straightforward. You know, things aren't done for us in this lifetime. This is a 3D video game where we have to make our own choices and we have to decide what we're going to do. We have to make our own decisions, our own plans. So we've got, let's look at the numbers here. We've got 17, 8, 41, 5 and 6. So again, it's some quite grounded numbers, but also very hopeful as well here. So there is a suggestion to pay attention to your dreams that you have either on Monday night or Tuesday night here. Again, I also want to talk about your dreams in a more concrete sense, not necessarily the ones that you have when you're asleep. You know, your aims, your goals, the things that you're planning to do, the things that you want to achieve. Pay attention to those today as well on Tuesday. This is a week of making things happen. This is a week of the energy speeding up, things going a bit faster. And it looks like there's a lot of support here. Support that could come through in the way of inspiration. I also want to talk about clairaudience for the clairaudience in the audience listening to or watching this video, the clairaudience out there. So that's people who actually get their messages from spirit either through hearing them clairaudiently or from literally hearing them, hearing voices, which is one of the skills that I actually use quite a lot. I'm a clairaudient. So it feels like it's a day where there could be messages coming in the form of sounds, I think. So pay attention to that. Could come through as music as well. Pay attention if you hear a song on the radio. That could very well be a message for you on Tuesday. So really do pay attention to that. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember that everything is your choice. Okay, this lifetime is not happening to you. This world is not happening to you. You're way more empowered than those in power would have you believe, because those in power rely on you not knowing that in order to stay in power. Okay. Anger. 49. Space. 30. Ice. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. So we got the whole cosmos here on 49. 49, 13, 4 again. So it's repeating numerology coming in here. 15, anger. That's difficult. 15, 6. Interesting. That's 15, 6. And 33 with ice. Okay. Right. Okay, that could definitely make some of the decisions that you have to make more difficult on Tuesday for sure. It looks like tempers could be flaring, emotions could be running high, but there's also a message here that the world is infinite, the universe is infinite and infinitely generous as well with what it is that we want. And there's a message with ice that things have to happen in their own time. You can't grow a garden if there's frost on the ground. You just can't do it. It's not the right time of year. You have to wait for the right moment, the right season to do it. So I think that's one of the messages coming through for Tuesday. Yes, there are things that you can do, but you can't do everything all at once because some things are time specific. Divine timing is a thing, but there's also the seasons as well. You know, the rules of this 3D video game that we live in. You know, there are rules to this world. You can't just do something at the wrong moment because it won't work. You know, if you plant a seed at the wrong time of year, it's not going to come up, or it's not going to come up when you want it to. It'll come up when it's ready, when it's the right time, when the conditions are right. So there is that to remember as well. And I do want to say, it may appear sometimes that your dreams aren't going to happen, but it might just not be the right moment. So try to stay calm, try to make the right decisions for the right reasons, because there is a lot of support from the spirit realms on Tuesday. There's a lot of support coming through. You know, you are reminded to pay attention to your actual, you know, dreamscape dreams, but also remember what your dreams are. Give them space to breathe. Remember that they have to happen in divine timing and in correct timing. We can't do everything at once. Sometimes we have to rest. Sometimes we have to take a break. Sometimes it's the wrong weather. You know, things can't always happen now. That's just not the nature of this reality. It is what it is. But if an important decision does come up, remember to make it, but make it we're keeping in mind what your dreams are, what your plans are, your goals for the future. So let's take a look at Wednesday's cards now. Wednesday we have number 47, Trust in Magic. Love that one. We have number 33, The Horse Spirit, Freedom is Yours. And we have number 16, Life Experience. Oh, wow. Oh, my. This could be an interesting day on the world stage. Things could literally be falling down around our ears with the Tower energy here. And a traditional tarot deck, you'll know this is the Tower, number 16. But 16-7 also brings in the energy of the mystic. And we've got 47 here, which is it's the magic in the real world. It's seeing the actual results of the magic, you know, and trusting that, yes, things really can go in our favour. Things can go in the favour of humankind, you know, mankind, and not in the favour of the powerful dark controllers who've had it their way for way too long now. And then we have the horse spirit coming in on the very divine 33 of the Christ consciousness, the 33-6. It's a reminder here that, yes, this is a moment where the era is changing. Yes, this is a moment where the energy is changing. We're moving towards a new golden age. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. Things are changing, things are shifting. Yes, the old edifices need to fall. The old idols need to be toppled. It has to come crumbling down. Remember to step out of the way when the building is falling, because it has to fall at some point. The castle has to fall. The leaders have to fall. And they know it. So I am going to say, step out of the way, make sure you don't get squished by a falling brick. Or a falling leader, I mean, you know, a falling king or something. You don't want to be underneath King Charles if he falls out of his tower, do you? But it is about letting go of old belief systems as well, and trusting in the magic of what we can create, and the magic of who we truly are, and the magic of our shadow as well. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Now, I've been doing a lot of shadow work. Lots of us have, I think, in this sort of spiritual community, New Age community, whatever you want to call us. A lot of us have understood that it was time to do a lot of shadow work, and that is healing and integrating the shadow aspects, healing trauma that many of us have, you know, that we've that's been very debilitating for many of us. You know, a lot of that has been coming up and sort of forcing us to deal with it because we haven't been able to get on with our lives if we didn't. And I think it does give you a lot of insight. It gives you a lot of foresight as well. I think dealing with trauma from abuse or difficult situations gives you a lot of insight into what's happening right now. And as somebody who has been through abuse, you know, and I'm sure many of you listening will have done as well, we've experienced abuse and abusive situations and narcissists. I can tell you that I can see a lot of evidence of abuse in our whole systems. You know, it's like our systems of government and society. Many of them are very abusive. Many of them are, you know, rely on an abusive, unfair system to actually work. And again, it's time for that to be seen. It's time for that to come into the light now. And it's going to be a god-awful mess when it happens. The more people wake up to it as part of the Great Awakening, you know, the more people see it, the more it has to fall apart, the more tenuous the hold is of the dark controllers, you know, or the dark powers, whatever you want to call them. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. They're on their way out, whether they like it or not. So it is a good day for shadow work, I think, on Wednesday. I think it'll be very interesting to keep an eye on the world stage to see what's going on. And it may be something that's happening kind of a bit low key on Wednesday that maybe they don't want to let us know about. So it might not be something that's publicised in the mainstream media, but something that the alternative media might pick up on. There may be something very interesting going on there, which is to do with the Great Awakening, to do with people waking up, you know, throwing off the yoke, throwing off the shackles of the old age of Pisces, where, you know, we kind of lived in servitude and there were classes of people, and that just has to fall apart now. It's never going to stand up in the age of Aquarius. The energy just doesn't work. Big day, could be something astrological as well going on Wednesday. I hasten to add, I'm not an astrologist, so I don't actually know what the astrology is on Wednesday the 19th. So if you are, please do feel free to weigh in the comments. I'd love to hear. So it could be a difficult day, it could be quite a challenging day as well, because I just have courage here as well on 16. So there's another 16. So this is big tower energy, but it's a reminder that you are strong enough to deal with this. You are strong enough, you are brave enough, you are courageous enough, you have enough gumption, you have enough spiritual strength to get through whatever life throws at you on Wednesday. We are all working towards this new age together. We are all working towards the Great Awakening together. And one of the most difficult truths, I think, is to remember that for some people it has to get worse before they can wake up. Some people's soul journey is that they have decided that they actually want it to get worse before they will wake up, and that's okay. Some people actually are just pretending to sleep at this point, and it has to get worse before they will choose to acknowledge it. It's literally in plain sight. There's so much in plain sight right now. I mean, I had a chat with someone I know who's a Mason, and he said to me, everything is in plain sight. You just have to know to look for it and know when you see it. And that is one of the biggest problems that we have, I think. So much is shown to us, presented to us, but nobody taught us to see it, to look at it, or to pay attention to it, or to take it seriously. So it's a day for foresight. It's a day to pay attention. But trust in the magic of the greater good and of what's actually happening here. Because freedom for humanity is on its way. We've just got to watch this god-awful mess as the towers come charging and crumbling down in front of us. So let's move on to Thursday now. So Thursday's cards. Righty-ho. We have number 20, Know Your Fears. It's quite scary, that one. Number 50, Rhino Spirit, Overcome Any Obstacle. Bit of Ganesh energy coming in there. And the 7 of Summer, No More Procrastinating. Okay. All right then. Interesting day. Interesting day. So Thursday, I want to say yes. Again, this might be a good day to book in with your therapist if you're currently in counselling or something like that, because I think this could be a day where there's some old fears really coming up that will get in the way. And this is about knowing yourself, understanding if you have trauma, for example, if you're doing shadow work at the moment, pay attention to what's making you anxious, what's pulling you off course, what's appearing as an obstacle on your path, because it may not be what it appears to be. In fact, I'm almost certain it isn't what it appears to be. There is an opportunity here to push through. There is an opportunity here with these cards, with this energy, to actually level up on Thursday. And I think it's going to be a very, very interesting day. Oh, it's all about you. Okay. What have we got here? Jealousy and listen. Okay. So there's a very kind of powerful number 50 there. 50 is kind of quite heavy energy, but it's very wise, very mature energy coming in there. So it does feel like a day to work on yourself. It's a day to pay attention, listen to your fears, pay attention to the mind, learn how to be the observer of the mind. And remember, that's not you. Okay, you are not your mind. You have a mind. You are not your mind. You control it. You can tell it to shut up. You can tell it that you disagree. Okay, just because your mind is running a program saying, oh, we think this about that, or whatever, you know, you can say, actually, no, I choose not to do that. I choose not to be afraid of this. I choose not to fall into mass hysteria. I choose not to listen to the propaganda. Be careful what you're listening to, whose voices you're listening to. This is all about you on 268268 energy here. As a reminder, you know, that you have access to your soul, which is an aspect of the divine. You know, you are God. You are a little tiny spark, a chip off the old block. And you can listen to the higher aspect of yourself, your voice of wisdom. You have to be very quiet to listen to it, not going to lie. You have to be quiet to listen to it. You have to quieten those noisy monkey mind aspects of yourself to hear the wisdom, but it is there. And there is no need to feel envy. There really isn't. Yes, your life may not appear fantastic at the moment. You might think, oh, it's not fair. Look at this other person. They have so much more. Or, you know, there are all these rich people, all these billionaires. You can feel very unhappy. But there's so much corruption at the moment. And corrupt is the word I get. Or you may be feeling wistful for another age, thinking, well, it's not fair. My parents had it better than I did. And, you know, or previous generations had it better. And yes, that may be the case on the face of it. But that's not what's happening here. There's no real place for looking backwards here, because you can't compare apples and oranges. We're in such a different energy, such a different age now. You can't compare what we're going through now to what happened 10, 20, 50 years ago. It's not comparable. It's not the same. We are here now, and this is a good moment to work on yourself. Work on your fears as well. That's very, very interesting. You know, and try not to be drawn into wistfully thinking about the past and thinking, oh, well, you know, there's definitely some nostalgia with the Seven of Summer, you know, getting lost in nostalgia and hiding out watching old movies on Netflix or something or on YouTube. The past is gone, and it's gone for a reason. Yes, it was beautiful, and yes, you know, we can celebrate the good times and everything that we've learned from it, but learn from it and move on, okay? And this goes for your past, any trauma or abuse, anything you've suffered, anything that's made your life difficult. Learn from it and move on. That's the strongest message coming through from Thursday. So let's move on to Friday here. On that note, getting a bit of an arse kicking from Spirit this week. Right, let's see. So Friday's cards, we have number 1, a new day dawns. Okay, maybe that's why we need to tie up some loose ends on Thursday. 43, Owl Spirit, you see clearly now. And the 8 of Spring. Wow, now that's things really starting to go. That's spinning lots of plates with the 8 of Spring there. But it's good. This is powerful energy. So I think that explains why the things we need to understand and let go have to stay in Thursday. They need to be gone. Because by Friday, there's a new beginning coming in here. And I think we will have a lot more clarity on Friday as to what's going on in our personal lives, you know, at work, with business, family, friends, loved ones, you know, romantic relationships as well. I think there's going to be some aha moments in romantic relationships. It may be time to step away from an old romantic relationship. I think you may see exactly who you are and the other person is, and whether it's still working or not. But also there's a new beginning coming in on Friday energetically. Again, it's dragon energy, it's fire energy. We're seeing a lot of dragons. I'm seeing a lot of dragons right now in my life, and I know a couple of other people who are too. So, very interesting. The Angel Wings Oracle cards coming in. They're all 20s. We're all in the 20s, so very, very emotional day. Lots of emotion coming in here. We've got 20 message, 25 home, and 21 special. Yeah, very much a reminder of how important you are, and that you can be at home wherever you are. Okay, even if you have to step away from a situation that isn't working anymore, or you want to make a change in your life and it feels like a lot of upheaval, you are at home within yourself. That is the only real true home, is within. And yes, sometimes we do need to go within to find it. Okay, and meditation can very much help us with that. But your true home is inside of yourself. So it's 25-7. We've got 43-7 there as well. So there's a lot of wisdom coming through on that mystical number 7 there, teaching us about higher aspects of ourselves, teaching us to go in to feel safe rather than looking outwards. And again, things could really start to speed up, or you might feel a little bit overburdened with the 8 of Spring here, because this can be like spinning lots and lots of different plates, this energy. I mean, it can be great. Things start to move quickly for you. And this is a week where things can start to move quite quickly for you. And it can be a little bit disconcerting for sure. But it's good because it's bringing the energy of new beginnings. So there is very much an opportunity to start something new and go fast with it and be very clear about what's actually happening here. And also a reminder of just who you are. There's a reminder a little bit about self-worth, self-esteem here. And also self-responsibility. I get the words self-responsibility as well for some reason. So you are responsible for your self-worth. Okay, you're an adult. If you're watching this, you're probably an adult, and you're responsible for your self-worth. Nobody else is. Again, don't look outside of yourself for validation. Don't look outside of yourself for your self-worth. It is within. It's inside, in your true home. Again, it's that number 7 energy, teaching us to turn in towards the mystery which exists inside of us. So yeah, it could be a little bit of a stressful day when it comes to work or juggling lots of things, but at the same time there's a very strong message here about new beginnings, about getting it right for yourself. Okay, and that doesn't matter what other people think. There's no right or wrong for what other people think. It's getting it right for you. What's right for you right now? Go within, meditate, spend time contemplating on Friday, and see what your message is to yourself. Okay, because we have the message card here I haven't really touched on. But what makes you feel good? You know, emotions are messengers as well. Pay attention to them. How are they making you feel? What are they trying to tell you? Okay, and you can't always take emotions at face value. They could be coming from a different aspect of you, but I think you'll see quite clearly on Friday, because it does feel like we let something go on Thursday, and Friday can bring in some new levels of clarity, which are going to be very, very helpful, very supportive for us all. So very interesting day. I'd love to hear how this one goes for everyone, so come back and leave me a comment later on in the week. I'd love to hear from you. And enjoy your new beginning, because it feels very positive, feels very interesting, and it's going to feel like we're, you know, embarking on new territory, so we might feel a little bit wobbly as we're taking our first steps in perhaps a new direction or towards a whole new way of life. So let's take a look at the weekend now. Take these cards away. And remember, these little blue cards, these are from the Angel Wings Oracle. You can have a look at these at any time that you want on my website, and I'll link to that below. So, Saturday's cards, we have number 4, Be Without Malice, more 4 energy coming through. Very, very concrete energy, very stable as well, very grounded. It feels like we're very much supported in the real world this week. So 58, Stag Spirit, Take the Lead. That's nice. Again, coming in on a 13-4, so another 4. And the King of Winter. Okay, right. Ooh, so Saturday, interesting day. For some reason, I've got sports in my mind for Saturday. Like, I don't know if some of you have kids and you take your kids to football or practice or something on a Saturday, but I'm drawn to that. But there's I feel like it's almost like playing a game. That's the image I get. It's like playing a game. Sometimes your team wins, sometimes your team loses, and that's okay, and someone has to be in charge of the team. It's kind of about, spiritually, it feels like team sports on Saturday. It's a team sports day, maybe literally for some, but figuratively for the rest of us who definitely don't go out in the cold running around on a muddy football pitch. Not going to catch me doing that, no way. Used to play netball back in the day, got too many injuries on my hands in the freezing cold from fingers smacking them, which is why my fingers look weird. Anyway, enough of my woes. Okay. Oh, we got 2 cards here. So we've got 24, Family, and 39, Gentleness. So again, it could be about spending family time, you know, doing things together, group exercises together, things that bring us together, things that are fun for everyone to do. I think it comes in with gentleness as well, reminding us, be without malice, be gentle. Be gentle with the people around you on Saturday. You know, it is a day for cooperation. It is a day for co-creation, I want to say as well. And these don't have to be family members. These can be members of your soul family, or just people that you really like and get on with, really gel with, really mesh with, and that's wonderful. But it could be that you do need to step up in your group or in your family or even at work. You know, it may be time to step up and be the one that takes the lead to bring the change, to bring the positive change to the group, but doing it for the right reasons as well. You know, bringing it for very concrete reasons, for very helpful, supportive reasons for everybody else. You know, and not everyone's going to like your decisions. Just bear in mind, on Saturday, not everyone is going to want to make the changes that you might suggest. Not everyone's going to be happy with your decisions on Saturday. Some people may be quite happy in their little rut and they want to carry on with that. But that's just not going to be possible. You know, and you really can be firm but fair here on 39, 12, 3. So we've got 39, 12, 3 on the gentleness card here, and 24, 6, family. So 2, 4, 6, 24, 6, it's a master builder number, so it allows you to create, allows you to grow. You know, the word family coming in figuratively as well as the literal meaning. 39 at 12, 3. So with 39, we've very much got wisdom guiding the blueprint. Is the blueprint experiencing wisdom? So we are creating from wisdom, and then we reduce to 12, which is the number of perfect governance. And we can be gentle with that. You know, you don't have to be violent, you don't have to be vicious or angry or aggressive to be a leader. In fact, the best leaders are gentle, calm. They're in control of all of their faculties. You don't want someone leading you who's going to fly off the handle every 5 minutes. And again, the stag spirit knows this. You know, they're calm animals because they have to be. Okay, they have to be on the lookout. They can't muck around. The prey animals, apart from anything else, they have to be paying attention. But they're very gentle animals. Not always at rutting season. That's another issue. But with 12-3, again, it brings us to 3, which is the number of the blueprint. So it is all about creating a plan, I want to say, not just for you, but for your group, your soul group, at work perhaps, making really good decisions, perhaps stepping up to be the one that makes the suggestion or really takes the lead here, because I love the Stag Spirit card. It's very much about taking the lead. I feel as well, I want to talk about taking the lead in your spiritual journey as well, in your own spiritual evolution. I want to say take the lead there, make some decisions for yourself. It could be about your own spiritual practice as well. You may be doing more work with different energies. Take responsibility, do the work, experience the energies, work with the energies, do the things that you need to do. You don't need to wait and be told to do it by a mentor. We're really beyond that kind of energy now. Just dive in and do it if you believe it's truly the right thing for you to do. Very sacred, very kind of shamanic energy coming through here with the stag as well. So it could be a wonderful day for spiritual practice, for learning. This is very wise King of Winter here. You know, great day for magical practice as well, learning higher magics or astrology, numerology, whatever it is that you're drawn to. So very, very interesting day. See how that one goes for you. And we will move on to Sunday. So, Sunday's cards. We have number 8, Embrace Spirit. Oh, okay, we've got some extra ones here. This is another crazy day. We've got number 50, you were born to create another dragon. And we've got 39, see the truth, with that beautiful barn owl there. Okay. Wow, another 50. We had a 50 earlier, didn't we? Very powerful energy here. Very empowered energy here as well. I mean, 50 brings the huge potential here. Potential to create, potential to see higher things, to understand higher aspects of the world. You know, it could be a day for scientific discoveries, which kind of mesh nicely with the spiritual, what we actually know there. As far as I'm concerned, you know, spiritual knowledge and truth is the same as spiritual scientific knowledge and truth. It's just looking at the same thing from different angles. That's literally all we're doing, expressing it perhaps in different ways, understanding it in different ways, but ultimately we're all looking at the same things. Okay, so it would be foolish to say that the two are mutually exclusive, because they're absolutely not. It's just two ways of looking at the same thing. So, interesting day. Wow, look at the eye on this bird here. So much clarity, and the glowing eyes of this beautiful dragon. And obviously, look at his eyes. He can see everything. He can see in the dark. Some real revelations coming out, I think, on Sunday. I mean, not just seeing the truth, but seeing everything. Really seeing everything. The truth about yourself. The truth about this world that we live in. The truth about people around you. But also the truth about what you can do, what you can achieve in this lifetime. And perhaps what you feel you're going to do and achieve that maybe you didn't believe before. Wow, beautiful. Embrace spirit. There's lovely, lovely energy coming through there from the spirit realms, being very, very supportive and reminding you that you're an eternal being. You don't have to do it all in this lifetime. Okay, that's a good one to remember. You don't have to do it all in this lifetime, because you may have already done it in a lifetime, or you may be going to do it in a future lifetime. Not that time really exists outside of this realm, but don't worry, it's okay. You know, I want to say, take a load off. I want to say, reduce some of the stress, okay? And I see this a lot in like the spiritual, holistic communities. People who think they have to learn all of the things, do all of the things, know all of the things. You really don't. It's exhausting if you try and push yourself to do so many things. I mean, you know, I've definitely been guilty of that myself. I'm calling myself out with this message as well as other people, you know, and you see that in other areas as well, not just in the spiritual community, but people who think they need to be able to do everything. oh, I need to have a YouTube channel, I need to have 1 million subscribers, and I need to have a successful business, and I need to have an amazing marriage, and I need to have this and this and this and this and this. And it all gets too much. And I think, you know what? Yes, you can create many things, but you don't have to do it all now. All right? I think we will see really clearly on Sunday what actually matters and what doesn't. Okay? And there's this word that we have, which I absolutely detest, productivity. You were not put on this earth to be productive. You were put on this earth to create, to bring beauty into the world, to bring magic into the world. You were not put here to be productive, no matter what your boss says. That's a trap. That's a lie. That's a nasty lie as well. Again, that's one of those ones that comes from the dark controllers. They want us to believe this shit. And it's just not true. And with the 8 of Winter as well here, it's about self-worth, being loyal to what you love. Yeah, be true to who you really are. It has nothing to do with who you work for. Okay, and this is the problem. A lot of us put a lot of our self-esteem, our self-worth into our job, into whether we have a degree, what our qualifications are, whether we own our own home, whether we have the car, the wife, the husband, the lifestyle, the boat, the jet ski, I don't know, the horse, whatever. I don't have any of those things, but I wouldn't mind a jet ski. But, you know, be true to you. Because being true to yourself, that's what really matters here. And I think that's one of the messages here from number 19 as well, 1910-1. Okay, look into the shadow and what will you see? You'll see yourself staring back. It's just a darker mirror. Yeah, and I think that is what holds us back. It's this bunch of lies that we're told, I think, right from the word go. And the people who tell them, they don't know any better either for the most part, because they were told the same lies when they were growing up. Our parents, our family, our teachers, whoever, society, they don't know any better for the most part. There are people who do know, who are very invested in us not finding out the truth, because Lord knows they'd be in trouble if we did. They would be in so much trouble if we ever found out how powerful we were. And that's what's coming in now. So I want to say on Sunday, take a moment, breathe. So it's 5 energy. So we've got 55. Love it. So it is that 5. It's the higher mind really coming in, inviting us to understand the world from a higher perspective, to see it with a greater level of wisdom now. Really see it. Really see what's going on here. No, you don't need to be a millionaire. No, you don't need to have a mansion. No, you don't have to have 1 million followers on Instagram. Okay? No one cares at the end of the day. And the people who do care, well, they got issues. Okay? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Oh, lovely animals. Beautiful. Do you think animals are bothered if they have subscribers on Instagram? I mean, my cat has an Instagram account, but he doesn't care how many followers he has. He doesn't care one bit as long as he gets a cuddle and some dinner, you know, and he has a warm place to sleep and he gets to be with his family. He understands what matters. And he also understands what doesn't, or rather he doesn't understand what doesn't, because YouTube would make no sense to him whatsoever. He wouldn't have the first idea what was happening. So I think it's a day where we really need to simplify our lives, get back to basics, get back to what is really true, what is really real, apart from anything else. And I think that's going to become clearer for many of us, I think, on Sunday, this Sunday. So I've also just pulled the cards 44 signs and 33 friend. Very interesting numerology happening here. Again, another 44. So pay attention to the signs in the real world, because it does feel very much now like, well, I know that the higher realms are very, very invested in helping us right now. They're trying so hard to show us everything. They're trying so hard to guide us, to whisper in our ear, to show us very obviously that the Emperor has no clothes on. And if we refuse to accept that, then, well, that's on us. Okay? If we refuse to accept that the Emperor has no clothes on and we carry on as if he did and everything was fine, we're just fooling ourselves now. We're just fooling ourselves. We're just kidding ourselves. Okay. And friend coming in on 33. So again, 33 showing up for the second time. 33, the Christ consciousness. Okay. So I want to say when that number shows up, because I know a lot of people say, oh, when that number shows up, you know, it's the Masons. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is that they're behind something. It could well be, but that number's your friend. Okay, I want to say that number, those signs, they're your friends. They're there to help you. When you see the information in plain sight, when you see the sign, that's there for you to see it. That's a marker on your path. That's a guide on your path. That's telling you, beware, pay attention. But that's for you. And just because other people aren't seeing it or don't want to believe you when you point something out to them, that's okay. It's all right. Breathe. Pay attention for you. You have to live your life. You can't live anybody else's. Okay. So I think the two things that really come through, really stand out for me here are your life, the purpose of your life is not what you were told it was. And secondly, it's not your job to live other people's lives for them. It's not your job to tell other people how they should live their lives. They have to get there on their own. Okay? You have to get there on your own. I have to get there on my own. You know, you could look at this and go, no, that's a load of rubbish. I'm not doing that. That's fine. This is your soul's path. Don't listen to a word I say if you don't want to. Absolutely fine. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. And I learned that a long time ago, because there are people in the spiritual community who really think it is their job to convince people, and people from religions, and let's not get started on that one. But it's not your job to convince anyone of anything. It's your job to see it, to observe it, and do what's right for you. To live from that higher mind, from that higher level of wisdom. And take a breath. Take a load off. Yes, it can be really stressful because we are at the end of an age, the end of an era. It's really stressful some of the time. It's difficult to watch. I say to my friends, you know, sometimes it's like watching a car crash in slow motion, because it really can be, right? But that's okay. We're here to be a part of this. We're here to observe other people. And something my guide said to me very early on is, we're not here to stop the apocalypse, or, you know, which is just the Great Awakening. We're not here to stop everything that's happening right now, although some of it is going to be harmful. You know, people are going to die. You know, people are going to be harmed, maimed, you know, imprisoned, enslaved. Yes, for sure. But others are going to be freed. It's not our job to prevent any of these things from happening. Yes, we can try and point them out to people. If the people don't want to hear it, there's nothing you can do. Okay, our job is to get through it, to survive it. Our job is to exist right now. That's what we're supposed to be doing. To exist, to live in the highest vibration that we can muster, to learn to do our spiritual work, to do the work on ourselves, to do our shadow work. Because ultimately, that will help mankind. That will send ripples out into the energetic grid. That will lift other people up. But we have to focus within first. That will help other people. It's not your job to convince anyone of anything. If they want to be convinced, if they want to hear it, they'll hear it. And if they don't want to, they won't. And that's that. And that's okay. Quite reassuring, really. So let's move on to our spiritual guidance message. I feel like we already had one, but there you go. We're moving on to the final one. Okay. So our spiritual guidance message for this week, we have Star Being healing codes. Important information. Wounds are healed. Recharging. Lovely. So we're having a bit of an energetic recharge. There's a lot of healing coming in from higher realms this week, which is wonderful. And I think there'll be a lot of inspiration. Look at this light coming in. It feels like the words I'm getting are repurposing the control grid right now. Where the old control grid is slipping away, its power is slipping away. It feels like it's being repurposed, energetically repurposed, to actually bring healing to everyone. So that's wonderful. Next, we have Lemurian seed codes. So embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. So again, it's living in the highest vibration that you can. You know, the healing is coming in. Accept it. Hold on to that healing, you know, open your arms, say yes please to the healing coming in from the higher realms right now. Heal yourself, heal your trauma, your shadow, integrate those wounded aspects of self so that you can be whole, so that you can live on a higher vibration. That is your job now. Many of us have come from past lifetimes on this earth. Many of us come from different planetary systems originally. The star seeds, you know, be what you were meant to be. Be who you were meant to be here. Many of us came in to be healers, to be guides, to be spiritual guides. But some of us, the way we do that, you know, literally it can be by being rather than doing. We are here embodying the healing energy. We are here embodying the codes, the light codes that are being brought to Earth. We are here as beacons. We are here as, I don't know, radio sets, I guess, to be transmitters and receivers for this energy, for this knowledge, this wisdom that we bring with us. Okay, we're here as memory banks. We're here to help humanity to evolve in the best way possible. And then we have inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. Laying foundations. Well, that's number 4 energy, if I ever saw it. So more number 4 there. But also there's a reminder to ground yourself. Ground yourself with Mother Earth, with Gaia. Go outside barefoot if you can, if it's not too cold where you are. A bit nippy here, not sure if I'll be doing that. Or put your hands on the earth if you don't want to go barefoot. Ground yourself, use grounding techniques, and ground all of this energy that's coming in this week, because there's so much coming in, so much knowledge, so much wisdom coming in right now. And then lastly, we have Holy Grail. Wow. Inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek. Well, yeah, that's basically what the cards were saying, wasn't it? You are what you seek. You already have everything within. Your real home, your true home is within you. You already have it. And I don't mean within your physical body. I mean, yeah, it is for as long as we're here on Earth. Yeah, our home is in our physical body, because that's the vessel that we have to exist here, and that is how we experience this particular realm. We experience it through being a human being, through having this body, this vessel, this temple. And we must look after it. There's a very strong reminder here to look after the body as well. And if you don't have a physical spiritual practice, it may be time to actually get one, to start one, whether it's yoga, tai chi, qigong, martial arts, whatever it is. The body needs to be worked. The body needs the spiritual workout as much as the higher aspects of the self. The physical body is the lowest, slowest body. All of the other bodies, we work those out, and we can really forget the physical, that it is part of the sacredness as well. Because it's very easy to forget that the physical body is sacred, because we think, really? It's just physical body, it doesn't matter. Well, guess what? It does. So, okay. What have we got here? 53 energy. Yeah. So, energy is everything. Everything is energy. The body is energy as well on 53.8. So it's a reminder from the blueprint here. A little reminder, take care of the body and the DNA. Okay, the DNA matters. Love matters. Balance matters. 14.5. Oh, healer, love thyself, I want to say. Oh, and there could be some releasing as well this week. So don't hold back. And it's okay if you're struggling at the moment. If you're struggling to watch what's happening, like I said, sometimes it's like watching a car crash in slow motion. If you're struggling with that, that's okay. Allow the grief. Allow yourself to grieve. If you need to shed tears, please do. It's okay. Absolutely okay. Your body would need to if it wants to. Yes. Because right now the whole of humanity has this higher ambition. Not all of us are aware of it. Some of us are very aware of it. Interesting that we've got 53 and 35. So 53.8 and 35.8. So it's kind of a mutual thing here. It's the blueprint, the divine blueprint of the Holy Grail, the Christ consciousness leading us forwards as human beings. But it's also us human beings interacting with that blueprint, with that consciousness, saying, well, actually, what if we made it look like this? How about if we try it this way this time? Because this is a whole new age, this is a whole new era, and we get to choose what it looks like. It's not already set in stone, set in concrete, what this is going to look like. We know what the energy is that's coming in to help support that, and it's very loving, very balanced. It is pure love coming in. But we get to choose what it looked like. We get to choose what flowers we have at our wedding. It's that energy this week, and it's exciting. So make sure you are resting, make sure you are assimilating those energies coming through, because there's so much light coming through from the higher realms this week. It's a big one. There's a lot going on. I do recommend coming back using the timestamps to look day by day if you're having a tough week, because it's going to be a very, very big energy. There's a lot to deal with, Be very gentle with yourselves. Be very loving with yourselves as well. Every aspect of yourself, your mind, your body, your emotions, your senses, your higher senses, your higher self as well. Be very gentle, very loving. Yeah, tricky week. Please do also come back and leave me a comment. Let me know how your week went or how it's going, because I do love to hear from you as well. So I think we're going to leave it there for this week. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. If you did, if you could put 5335 in a comment for me, I would love that. So I know that you watched right to the end. 5335. Awesome. And I will see you all again very soon. Take very good care.